Alright, I'm going to try and do a little bit of a walkthrough on my spare engine right here. And, of course, this is the case that came out of my 1974. And, let's just bang everything around here. Pistons rolling across the floor over there. There's rust everywhere. I built this thing 30 years ago, so of course it's going to be oxidized and whatnot. I have a full flow cover plate for my oil pump down in here. You know, I've never been a fan of having to drill and tap. This guy right there, it's like, no, this works, this works. So they both work, but why would I take the chance of like sticking a fitting into this guy right here, screwing it in, and then having my case crack? I really don't want to do that. See, if this cracks because I tighten this stuff up a little bit too much, I'll just get a new faceplate, and we're back into business. But anyway, that's enough of that guy right there. And I'm pretty sure this is just a stock size. This isn't like a 30mm pump in there or anything like that. It's a 26mm pump. I got the Super Cool tins. You know, Mike FN Garage is a big fan of the Super Cool tins. I think a lot of guys down in Florida run these things too. What else we got on this guy? It is a 1745. These are 85.5s. I'm not entirely sure what I've got with the heads, but they're definitely, I don't believe, stock. I did a little bit of porting in them, but not a lot. And they are old as the hills. Let's get one of these valve covers off here. Now, back in the day, yeah, I had bolt-on valve covers. I am not a fan of bolt-on valve covers these days. Although I am a fan of aluminum. I would definitely do aluminum over steel. Well, let's see what we got in here. So it looks like I got a factory rocker arm. I usually do bolt-ons, but these appear to be factory. Based on the position of the push rods, it looks like these are one-to-one rockers. I have swivel feet adjusters, swivel foot adjusters in there. Looking at the valve springs, I think these are single high rev springs, which should be, because I believe I either have an Engel 100 or an Engel 110 in here. I'm not entirely sure which. Take a look at these. Look at the retainers. Does that look like steel to you? It does not. No, it looks like something really cool. Which means they're either aluminum or they're titanium. And you know, back in the day, they made these things out of both. I'm not entirely sure what they are. Probably titaniums, given when I built this. Ooh, didn't put any spark plugs in. Let's see, what have I got in the way of exhaust? What do the exhaust ports look like? Let's take a look. Oh man, maybe I can get some light down one of these ports here. Can we see anything? Let's see what goes down in there. My head's in the way. No, it's nothing special. Did a little bit of porting on it, but not much. Yeah, you know, it's just a 1745. I had a spare crank laying around. It's been turned, so it's not new. It's been, not sure what size over it was, but it had to be done. I'm pretty sure the case has been line bored. Again, I'm not sure how much over it is. Yeah, let's go back to the other side and take a look at the head. There's got to be some kind of a casting mark on this head somewhere. Let's see what it says. Oh, man. What have we got? Well, it's got an Audi VW emblem on it. It's got an 040 number. It's pretty neat. Yeah, those are definitely one-to-ones. Nothing special there. I'm telling you, man, it looks to me like these are big valve heads. And it does not look like, and it doesn't look at all down there like a stock head. It is not a stock opening. I knew I built this thing for a little bit more performance, and I don't think I would have choked it with a bunch of stock heads. See, my plan was to use that center mount 45 DRLA that I have new in the box up there on the shelf. Let's take a look at the back here real quick. Look at all the rust back here. Rust and dust. Yeah, boy, is that rusty. Yep, there's a lot of rust. 30 years of just sitting around. All I do, I have it in a plastic bag, but that's about it. Doesn't mean the air doesn't get in and out. So, yeah, not the best. Anyway, I don't think I got too much else on this guy right here. Wonder what's underneath it. I don't even know if I've got it closed up. I think it's open. It should be open. It'll get condensation in there and rot if it's closed up. Yeah, it's open. I appear to not have all of my stuff. Oh man, looks like bugs have gotten in here. A little bit of crud and paper. Yeah, it's too bad. Look at that. It's too small for mice to get in there. Well, maybe a mouse could crawl in there. Oh, who knows? The relief, nothing bent there. That looks good. The cool tins are on nice. Oh, sweet. Tell you, the more I look at these heads, the more I think these things are brand new. Man, I didn't know I put that kind of money into this thing. Anyway, it would have been a heck of a runner. Looks to me, based on how much crud I've got down in there, that I wouldn't be able to just bolt this thing in and run it. So, that's too bad. It would have been fun to figure it out, you know, how well it ran at some point in time. It's got nothing special in the way of rods in there. They're just stock rods. Probably clearanced a little bit, but they're nothing special. Yeah, it's looking good. Some of the stuff looks great, some of it doesn't. There's one thing that, geez, I forgot to mention when I was talking about this. You know, when you put a stroker crank in, of course, you know, unless you shorten the rods or you put in the B pistons, your A pistons are they're gonna stick out pretty darn far. So what you typically do is you stick a big spacer right down in there. But it would appear that I do not have a large spacer. There's definitely a spacer in there. Looks like it's about, geez, it's 1/2 to 3/4 of a millimeter. It's a teeny tiny spacer. So I'm pretty sure what I've got in here are 85.5 pistons that I've machined the crown on. So I believe that I took 2 millimeters off the crown. So they're crowned pistons. And geez, if I did 2 millimeters, that might be a bit excessive. But I also think that I ran these pistons in my 73. So I've got miles on them, so they didn't tear up. So I think I went ahead and when I took them out of my 73 to build my 1415 cc's motor. Well, of course, that left me with some decent 85.5 pistons. So it's like, yeah, why not go ahead and throw them into this thing? But anyway, I think that given the spacers and what I probably did for machine work on the pistons, and given the combustion chamber size of an 040 head, I think this thing's at about 8.5 to 1. Might be about 8.4 to 8.5 to 1 compression. I think that's about the only thing I didn't mention on this thing that has you know, relevance to its performance. Here we go, December 27th, 2020. It's a nice sunset. It's about 45 degrees, kind of cold, but not terrible. So anyway, that does it for that guy right there.